It's soul codes. We have dropped soul codes for ourselves all over this planet. And when we're divinely led somewhere, divinely called somewhere, it's not by accident. And when we go there, it's a soul retrieval, a retrieval of memories, a retrieval of encodements that are activating and that will have us, when we receive them, we can't help but expand into it. And, at that young age of 17, when I was called there, I had no idea. I didn't get to choose where I was going. I just signed up to be in a foreign exchange student program, and that's where they sent me. And yet, when I went and walked into those amazing ruins, I was like, oh, wow, I feel something different than I've ever felt before. And, I got to spend a lot of time in those places, and I couldn't get enough of it. I just soaked it up. And I know now, in retrospect, I was receiving downloads and getting activated, receiving the soul codes that a larger part of myself, my connection to the divine, had put there so that I could wake up at that very time of my life and step into a more conscious experience of my spirituality, and not just going to the church that I'd been raised in and kind of regurgitating the things that I'd been taught there, but really starting to have an active interaction, awareness, and consciousness of who I am and what I'm here for and what this soul mission is all about.
You've got the magician element, you've got the innovation and creativity. So when things don't feel like they're like, what, this is supposed to be this grand year of fulfilling your dreams, which I do believe it is. When you don't feel like you're in that place at all, which happens to all of us, just go, okay, let's get creative, let's get innovative, and let's get some magic going. Yeah, because, it's one thing to say this is going to be a year of such and such. It's another thing to go, well, how do I get there? How do I take advantage of those amazing energies that are so magical? And the other is, a huge increase in our sensitivity and our intuition and our wisdom, and really being guided by the soul. I love, this feeling that some would say it's a deeper year. We're going to a deeper place. And to me, that is just about going more into soul and purpose versus being bounced around by our emotions, which have happened a lot because a lot of emotions have had to surface. So we start going, oh, we can't just push those aside now, can we? No, we need to get in touch with those beautiful parts of ourselves. And those parts of ourselves that feel emotionally, that's their greatest piece, is that they feel like emotions. They're parts of us that are wanting to get reconnected, because the only wound is the wound of separation. So parts of us are coming up, just like in the collective, there's huge transformation. Old patterns are coming up to be transformed. And we go, yeah, I see that. What about our emotional realms? They're coming up to be transformed. But instead of trying to get rid of them and clear them and all of that kind of thing and find solutions, what about seeing them as parts that want to get reconnected to the beautiful guidance of your soul?
One of the things we truly wanted to experience is separation. Right? We chose to create a world of separation where we believe that we are separate and alone, that we often believe that, that we're victims of our circumstances, and, that we believe this story, right? And so it is a matrix that we've created, and I believe we, as so many of us, probably not every single one of us, but so many of us as very ancient souls said, hey, this would be a good idea. Let's do something new, right? And obviously that was a while ago, but we are now very much in the process of unwriting a lot of the old story, the old matrix, the old programming, right? So we are programmed to believe that we are alone. We are programmed energetically to believe the emotional drama and to get kind of stuck in those patterns and programs. And so the more of us that wake up and realize that we created this, we can uncreate it, right? We can undo this. The more of us that are on that path, the faster and easier it will be. And part of what that means is that there are, of course, probably hundreds of thousands of light workers here who are becoming aware of that we can unwrite old programmings. We can untether ourselves from this belief in this matrix story, that we can do healing for the collective. So to me, working in the Akashic Records, we can start to rewrite and unwrite and heal a lot of the emotional pain and trauma that we've had in these last 10,000 plus years on Earth.
Now, epigenetically, we already know that if there is a significant event, and it's a significant event for you, but you also get global significant events.
Wow, yeah.
It's not the event, it's the decisions we make about the event that will affect our minds and bodies. So it's very much with us. So it's a terrible, or an event happens, we either say it's terrible or amazing. You can have two people in an accident, both get paralyzed from the neck down. One says, my life is over. The other one says, my purpose has just begun. They're both right. Because the meaning that you make becomes the truth. Only it's not the truth. It's your truth, and you can change that anytime you want to. So you have this whole emotional blueprint that comes down, and all of the patterns of thoughts, feelings, and actions and mindsets. And what it's asking you, especially if you've got a bumping one, there are two. So if you've got one that's really difficult for you, you're sad, mad, frustrated, stuck, whatever that is, that's often a multi-generational pattern that's asking to be seen, given its place, and allowed to stop. It's served its purpose. Because very often what began as a solution in one generation becomes a problem in the next. So somebody in a generation says, hoard all of your pennies, stuff them under your mattress, keep the money there. Why did they do that? Well, because in the Great Depression, if you needed money, you better have it with you because the banks didn't have any. But that's not a solution for now. Now you come along and you hoard all your money and stuff it under the mattress, and it's not getting you any interest. You're not investing it. It's not growing. Worse still, you probably have a dreadful relationship with money and see it as the opposite of godlike, which, by the way, it really is not. Or you see it as a commodity instead of a relationship and a spiritual flow. And now you're stuck. And you wonder why you're stuck. That pattern has come all the way down to you, but why? It's asking you to see it, give it its place, and then write the chapter that only you can write, which means you get to start a new pattern. You get to create new emotional DNA, new patterns of thoughts, feelings, actions. And if you do that mindfully and consciously, and you use an elevated emotion, and you align head, heart, gut, and get to that state of coherence, then things start to change very fast for you.
The divine is something that can't be named. It's sort of like the Tao. The Tao that is named is not the Tao. So what we can do, however, is do a journey. We can take a walk around what is the divine, and we can get really, really close to that 0 point, that place of definition. You can get really close to it, but the beautiful part is because it is from which all arises. The only time you really end up becoming one with it is when you give up any of your own identity and your own definitions and your own beliefs. So we have this chance to actually be individuals and see our facets of reality and appreciate that every single part of consciousness is a window into that divinity.